Breaking overnight, 2 police officers shot in Milwaukee. We'll have an update on their conditions while officers search for a suspect.
Plus, a key lawyer in President Trump's 2020 election plot has been disbarred in New York. Details on the investigation.
And majestic animals in Madison. How you can check them out this weekend.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning on your Friday. I'm Kyrie Unley.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for tuning in. It's nice and comfy out there this morning. Oh, it felt so nice.
Feeling a lot better because, you know, I'm trying not to complain about the heat, but it's just when you get the heat and humidity together, it just puts a little
it zaps the energy out of you too.
Yes.
And we've got so much rain, more rain for some folks last night. Let's see what's going on this morning. We got Jacob Montesano in for Savannah Burrito with your first one forecast. Hey there, Jacob.
Hey, Chris. Although we are seeing some light showers right now, much of the area will not see any rainfall today, and the temperatures will be much more comfortable. So overall, it's going to be a very nice one. Now, we could see some of these light sprinkles continue through the morning as we'll see cloudy skies, but by the afternoon, we'll see partly sunny skies, especially we'll see sunshine, especially for areas south of Madison, a little bit more cloud cover in central Wisconsin, but a lot of the area, actually pretty much the entire area, will be completely dry once we get to the afternoon hours. Now, temperatures right now, lower 70s, upper 60s, so a little bit above normal compared to what we normally see during the morning, but the temperatures are not going to rise too much. Highs will be in the middle to upper 70s. Could see a few lower 80s for some, but overall, it's definitely going to be cooler than what we've seen. But then those temperatures are going to warm back up into the 80s for your Saturday, but we also will be fairly dry for Saturday as well. But then we'll see some storms on Sunday, so I'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. And we begin with breaking news from overnight. This morning, Milwaukee police are continuing to search for a suspect who shot 2 officers.
Those police officers are now in the hospital. One of them is in critical condition. The officers were shot while responding to a 911 call. Milwaukee police say that the call came in just after 9 o'clock last night. A witness on the scene was passing out water to other officers when he saw some commotion. He says around 20 officers then ran down the street.
You know, everybody's nervous. The community and the police is nervous. So be safe out here. You know, approach everything with cautions. You know, and it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation. A couple weeks ago, an officer got shot in the leg. Now you got this situation, and it's just the beginning of the summer. And it's very scary how this summer's going to turn out.
As far as a suspect goes, police say they know who they're looking for this morning, but they have not released a description. They say the department's homicide division is investigating.
New this morning, Kenneth Chesborough, a key lawyer involved in President Donald Trump's attempt to override the 2020 election in Wisconsin, has been disbarred in New York. A panel of judges from the state's appellate court focused on Chesborough's efforts to convene electors who would vote for Trump after the election, despite former President Joe Biden winning the popular vote in Wisconsin. Chesborough was previously suspended from practicing law in New York. He is also suspended in 5 other states and voluntarily relinquished his law license in Georgia. The panel highlighted Chesborough's 2023 guilty plea to a felony count of conspiracy to file false documents related to his role in the 2020 fake elector scheme in Georgia.
An update now to the poisoning plot in Madison. A Rock County woman has identified herself as one of the victims. Amanda Bade wrote in a statement to News 3 Now that she spent 38 days in the hospital. A criminal complaint alleges Paul Van Doon and Andrea Whitaker stalked and tried 3 times to kill her. We have a link to her GoFundMe, which is set up on Bade's behalf at channel3000.com.
A man has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for a violent home invasion and a fatal shooting. A judge sentenced Chabris Link to 15 years for the shooting and an additional 5 years for the home invasion. Police say in 2016, Link and an accomplice duct taped a man and his girlfriend while their children watched and then shot the man. In 2021, prosecutors say Link and another man shot and killed 24-year-old Eric Ranson outside a home on Madison's northeast side. Link will serve these sentences consecutively.
We have new information this morning in Green Lake where a child was struck and killed by a vehicle. Authorities have identified the child as 12-year-old John Emmett Zadro. Police say that the kid was riding his bike with 2 friends on Hill Street near the library when an 85-year-old Germantown woman trying to park her car went over the curb and hit him. Zadro was trapped under her vehicle and died at the hospital. The CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee is endorsing this fall's flu vaccines.
But that's only if they're free of an ingredient anti-vax groups have falsely linked to autism, thimerosal, a preservative. Studies show no link between thimerosal and autism. One panel member said, quote, "We have to respect the fear of mercury, which might prevent people from getting vaccinated." The new CDC advisory panel was handpicked by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Unlike previous committees that spent months discussing questions, former acting CDC Director Dr. Richard Besser says this new panel did not follow that process.
Uncertainty this morning over a possible White House meeting with Iran. President Trump says it's happening next week. White House press secretary, though, says as of yesterday, no meetings are scheduled. Senators received a classified briefing on the U.S. strikes on Iran last weekend. Meantime, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defended the strikes in a news conference yesterday and scolded the media for its coverage.
Demonstrators gathered at the state capitol for a silent protest against U.S. strikes on Iran. They are calling for the strikes to stop, for all diplomatic channels to be pursued to de-escalate tensions, and for veterans and active duty personnel to lead policy discussions.
We've watched layer after layer of experienced, skilled military commanders leaving or being removed from their positions of power because they won't toe the line. But that's not their job.
Protesters say they believe the conflict with Iran is a distraction to shift attention from President Trump's budget bill. They were part of the 50-51 movement, standing for 50 protests, 50 states, one movement.
Well, it's been just over a year since an EF2 tornado hit Janesville. It was June 22nd last year, marking 1 year of 5 confirmed tornadoes in the state. Our consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn shows you how Rock County's new efforts are underway for disaster responses. Good morning.
Chris, Kyrion, good morning. The Rock County Salvation Army is stepping up with a brand new rapid response disaster vehicle. So when a disaster like this occurs, they're prepared. The National Weather Service says the tornado that left Janesville looking like this last year hit peak winds of 115 miles per hour, with most damage an EF level 1, but the south side of Janesville saw spots of stronger impact. So this new rapid response vehicle is designed to reach people faster when disasters like this occur.
Well, that allows us to get out and serve hydration and take out snacks and some lunch, some food stuff once in a while. It allows us to do more than that. It allows us to do emotional and spiritual care and check in people, but it also shows that we're out and in a presence.
The Rock County Salvation Army isn't stopping there. They now have 5 volunteers with badges ready to deploy alongside this rapid response unit, bringing help when it's needed most. Now, this year in Wisconsin, we're already above average when it comes to how many tornadoes we've seen. 22 have been documented so far this year, and that's during the 2 severe thunderstorms we had, one in April and another mid-May. And that's just 1 tornado away from the annual average, and we're barely halfway through the year. Wisconsin also saw above the average number of tornadoes around this time last year as well, with 40 documented by the National Weather Service.
All right, just taking time to look and see how they're stepping up that response to better prepare. Michelle Renee, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, right now the Alliant Energy Center grounds are playing host to the Regional Arabian Horse Championships.
Arabian horses are the oldest pure-blooded breed of horses in the world. As the name suggests, they originated in the Arabian Peninsula and have been an origin point for many horse breeds around the world. One of the organizers of the event says hosting the show in Madison helps expand access.
The change in agriculture gives people less access to horses, and that's one reason why we're doing so much to try to invite the public in here to meet these horses and experience this, because it is harder for them to access them.
More than 300 horses are here for the event. It runs now daily through Sunday and is free to attend. The big spotlight, if you're interested, is Saturday night with the opening celebration happening at 5:30.
Look at those beauties there.
You and horses, not so much?
I mean, we've had some encounters. One, nudged the back of my head during a stand-up one time. But
oh, come on! It's just
okay.
The horse just saying hi to you.
Yeah, I know, and I was just like, no, all right, you just stay back there. But otherwise, very, majestic.
Very.
Love it. Right. Well, let's check in with Jacob to see how things are shaping up for our Friday.
Well, it's going to be a very nice Friday, but those warm temperatures are going to return for the weekend. I'll talk more about that and a risk of severe weather. Those details a bit later.
Coming up, your morning sports News 3 Now, catching up with Hall of Famer Bo Ryan. Hear what he has to say about NIL situations in the transfer portal.
And we're working for the weekend in the 608 this morning. I'll have your 3 things to do just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Everybody's working for the weekend in the 608 today.
It might be the day.
I think
We were just listening to the song.
I think it's the day because I'm on vacation after today, so I just have to get through this morning. Are we going to do it?
Oh, yeah. Wait,
All right.
should we say it for the end or right now?
Gosh.
I'll count us down in
Okay.
3,
Right here.
2, 1.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Hey,
Got it.
still got it, guys.
Finally. There you go, Kyron. It's been a long time.
Let's hit the road.
It's been months. It's
Take
been
the show
months.
on tour.
Well, hey, guys, this is the last weekend of June, and our summer lineup of fun events for the whole family continues in the 608. It is time to celebrate the summer season at Woolersheim Winery. The Summer Serenade Series is officially underway. This is a big hit. Tonight is your next opportunity to enjoy the beauty of the summer while sipping on a nice beverage outside, taking in the views. They have extended hours planned from noon to 8 on these summer Fridays, where you can enjoy wine, cocktails, food, and live music with no reservation needed. The next Summer Serenades is planned for Friday, July 25th. Happening Saturday from 11 to 2, there's a Farm Fresh celebration at Sassy Cow Creamery in Columbus. They're serving up scoop, smiles, and some serious summer fun with a hands-on petting zoo, a variety of delicious eats, freshly made ice cream, games, activities, and fun for the whole family. And hey, it's all for a good cause. This event supports Second Harvest Food Bank's Adopt a Dairy Cow program. And finally, it's going to be a big weekend for Camp Randall as Morgan Wallen comes to Wisconsin on his tour. This is happening both Saturday and Sunday nights. Lots of businesses are hosting specials in downtown Madison, especially in the Regent Street area. So here's your chance to support local during this time. Even if you don't have tickets to get inside, you can still be part of the fun. You can find more happenings this weekend in the 608 by going to channel3000.com. A couple of other things. Parade of Homes continues this weekend. That runs through Sunday. We also have the Pups and Pride event I talked about earlier this week. That is tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock over on the North Street location for Bloom Bakery. So a lot going on.
Lots of things.
Have you guys been to Woolersheim yet?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh.
I just found out about it, so there we go.
It's like a 20-minute drive. Like, it's really, really close. You have to go. You feel like you're like in this faraway land. It's so fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It does. Excellent date.
I was going to say, it's perfect date night.
So write that one down. You guys are giving me
Yes.
some
Even a date, yeah.
Like, that one is like really high on that list. You got to do it soon.
Near the top. Josh, thanks, buddy.
You bet.
All right, let's get it over to Jacob with your 3 things to know for today. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Chris, it is going to be very comfortable today, but warm temperatures over the weekend will lead to some storms on Sunday. But then we're going to be dry Monday through Wednesday. We'll also be dry today and tomorrow. So really, it's only Sunday over the next 6 days that we are expecting rain. But we could see some severe weather on Sunday. Marginal risk for areas in southern Wisconsin, slight risk up to the north. And we also could be seeing some additional storms as we get into, this is going to be both the afternoon and evening on Sunday. So as we look at today's forecast, again, partly sunny skies for the afternoon, clear skies overnight. Some light showers are possible in central Wisconsin as we get towards Saturday morning. But by Saturday afternoon, everyone should be dry, and we also will see a lot of sunshine. Again, as we get into Saturday night, we also could see some light showers for areas north of Madison, but those also not going to be too impactful. Sunday will start out dry, but those showers and storms will develop during the afternoon and push through our area, bringing in the chance of some severe weather. But as far as total rainfall goes, we're not expecting a lot. Now, obviously, that may change a little bit, but it looks like we'll just see that one round of some showers and thunderstorms, maybe some additional overnight Sunday. But total precipitation from Sunday's rainfall shouldn't be too much. And overall, this is good news, especially for places further northwest. Although, as you get closer to La Crosse, the rainfall that is possible later tonight and later to Saturday night could bring in some more precipitation totals. But for Madison and surrounding areas, precipitation precipitation total shouldn't be too much from Sunday's system. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Monday through Wednesday, we are going to dry up a little bit, and then we will see those rain chances increase towards the end of next week. And unfortunately, that does include the 4th of July, not just 4th of July, but also the weekend after. Now, a lot could change between now and then with that rainfall, but right now we are expecting to see a good chance of rain for the holiday. But the good news is that, at least until then, we are going to see some relatively nice days over the next week. Today, very nice, a little bit warm Saturday, but dry. Also a little bit warm Monday through Wednesday, but it will be dry those days as well. It will be hot on Sunday with those storms, but once the storms roll through, it should cool down a little bit. And then, as I mentioned, storms for the 4th of July weekend with near average temperatures.
All right, so just soak in the good weather while we can. Jacob, thank you. It was 10 years ago when the Badger men's basketball team went all the way to the national championship game. And last night, members of that team came together to reflect on that season at the Orpheum Theater. And among them, former Badger ESPN Wisconsin host Ben Brust.
He brought together Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Josh Gasser, and of course their leader, Bo Ryan. Our Eric Franke had the chance to speak with the Hall of Famer coach about that tournament run and the Made 'em Believe reunion.
You had a lot of special teams going all the way back to Platteville, 4-time national champs. But this one, I mean, your last complete team, your last year where you had a full season, what a special group. And to see these guys again is great.
Yeah, it is a special group. It was then and it still is now, the way they stay in contact. It was watching, for me as a teacher, watching these guys grow, watching these guys come together, get after it in practice. But once practice was over, the locker room, I guess, was, they had a lot of fun.
And that was such a special time in college sports, too, that I don't think we have anymore. I mean, are you glad sometimes you don't have to deal with the transfer portal every year and the stuff Greg's got to deal with now, like the NIL and all that stuff?
Well, it's funny you say that because somebody mentioned to me the other day, he said, hey, Coach, what's the big deal with the NIL? You were coaching against guys that were getting paid anyhow. I said, whoa, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching. But yeah, no, it's different, but it's still about the game, about the education. Nobody's talking about graduation rates anymore. Whatever happened to the educational part of this? So it's going to be smoothed over eventually. It's already starting to make a little more sense in how they're going to do it. And I'm just glad I'm not an administrator trying to put all this together. But still, when you get on the court and you got your 2 hours with the players, teach. These guys should forget about everything else during those 2 hours. When it comes time to look at film, look at film. But, I'm hearing some college coaches, some guys I've known, all they keep talking about is what they don't have. Well, we don't have any money like that school. Or, we don't have this, we don't have that. Wait a minute. You can work some things out here. Some are going to have more an advantage than others.
Right.
But the world's like that anyhow. I mean, just everyday life is like that. So you learn to work with it. You learn to work through it. And Greg and the staff now is doing a great job. And they're still having fun. That's the main thing.
Oh, Coach Ryan's one of the greatest. Oh, he's one of the greats. Love hearing him talk.
Yes, good insight there. But still ahead, the restaurant that's selling pool noodles.
Back after this.
Welcome back. You're taking a look at the best cat ever. His name is Jack and he's mine. And he's enjoying a meowgarita. Do you know what that is, Josh?
A margarita for a cat?
Yes, it is. So I crushed up the dry kibble cat treats and I had rimmed the glass so that he could have a nice little treat. And then I blended up the cat treats, the liquid one, and I just poured it in there. And Jack loved it.
8 down.
8 down.
8 down.
As a reminder, it is National Adopt a Cat Month, so feel free to adopt a cat and make them a meowgarita. No, Jack is living his best life.
He's all for
Are you going to write out like a recipe and put it on the website maybe?
I can. I'll post it to my Facebook page for anybody who's interested.
Be like
Thanks,
Mr.
Jacob.
Food.
Jack is never going to want regular food ever
Not
again.
Never again. No.
Not again.
He's spoiled.
He is a picky eater. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's going to kick over his bowl tonight.
Oh, boy. Hey, Olive Garden is getting into the pool noodle business. Check this out. Options include the floatin' fettuccine, the taking it easy tortellini, and the relaxin' rigatoni. The limited edition noodles will be available for purchase on the website. Just go to olivegarden.com. They are $40 a piece, which sounds, I don't know, reasonable, but
so you would
how
buy
fun are
this
these?
for $40?
Oh yeah, I'd sell. Yeah, buy them out. Yeah.
I'm just a little disappointed they don't
Put
have
it in my pool. I don't have.
They don't have a breadsticks pool, like a
Yo,
pool
where's the
noodle.
breadstick?
Yeah,
expecting the
or like
breadstick,
a pool noodle breadstick.
You are the breadstick. The pool is the soup. And you're the breadstick,
You
and then
are
your
the
friend is the chicken
But
and the gnocchi.
they could easily
and
sell like one of those noodles
chicken
in
gnocchi
the
soup.
shape of a breadstick. I think that would work.
There's a lot going on right now.
All I know is if I was gonna get one, I would get the Take It Easy tortellini.
Tortellini for sure.
That looks comfy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm
feel ya.
hungry.
That's right.
Same.
All right, we're back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Breaking overnight. Officers down in Milwaukee. What we know about their conditions in the manhunt for the suspect.
Plus, what happens if you're displaced by a fire? We find out from the American Red Cross.
And a new energy project in Columbia County. Why some aren't so happy about it. Well, thanks for tuning in on a Friday morning, folks, to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. If you're headed out there, you're not going to break a sweat just quite. So.
It's feeling pretty comfy outside. We've earned it after all the heat and the humidity that we've had, all the rain and everything. Hey, we got that big Morgan Wallen concert going on at Camp Randall tomorrow and Sunday. I'm looking at tickets that are available right now. And some are $3,000 plus if you want to go to the Morgan Wallen concert tomorrow night. $3,400 for a seat, and you're not even right next to the stage. Some of the general admission stuff, like up close, is going for over $3,000 this morning. It's just wild.
I should be able to feel Morgan's sweat. If for
that price.
$3,400, yes, you should be able.
Goodness.
You should be able to see all the things. Yes, right up close and personal. But of course, we need to know how things are going to be shaping up for people out there.
Exactly.
If they are headed out there, let's check in with meteorologist Jacob Montesano, who's in this morning for Savannah. Jacob, what you tracking?
Well, we're seeing some light showers across the area right now as we are seeing plenty of cloud cover, but we'll see sunshine later in the day. Now, although not a lot is showing up on radar, here's a view outside. You can see a few raindrops on the camera. This is from Platteville, and if I go back, there is nothing on the radar in Platteville, so I just want to point out that although you may not see anything on the radar, it still could be sprinkling out there. So as we take a look at the forecast throughout the day, and cloudy skies early with some light sprinkles in the morning, but then as we get towards the afternoon hours, we will see more sunshine, especially for Madison and areas to the south and areas to the north. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover, and on top of the sunshine in the afternoon, temperatures will be very comfortable. Right now, they're in the lower 70s for the most part, and by the afternoon, they're only going to rise a little bit into the middle and upper 70s. Could see a few lower 80s, but it's going to certainly feel very nice out there. For tomorrow, it will warm back up into the 80s, and the humidity values will be a bit higher, but we are expecting dry conditions to continue. Now, for Sunday, we are going to see a good chance of rain. I'll talk more in detail about that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, we'll talk to you then, Jacob. Thank you. We want to get back to that breaking news from overnight in Milwaukee, where the gunman who shot 2 police officers is on the run. TMJ reporting that those officers were ambushed.
One officer remains in critical condition this morning, while the other suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Both were shot while responding to a call. The Milwaukee Police Department says the 911 call came in just after 9 p.m. In a media briefing overnight, city leaders expressed remorse over the situation. The city is struggling with staffing and recruitment, but they say that staffing issues was not a cause, but rather the amount of guns in the city.
I don't think that would have prevented anything today, because what the problem is today, and every time actually that, we have all of you in front of us, the problem is too many people have guns. So I could put an officer on every single corner. That will not eliminate the amount of guns in the hands of people that shouldn't have them, right?
Both officers are being treated at Freighter Hospital. Police say they know the suspect they're looking for, but have not released a description. They say the department's homicide division is investigating.
Now to new video from overnight showing a crew tearing down a home near Mount Horeb after it caught fire. Take a look at this. It was a small community in Springdale, just south of Mount Horeb, where this happened. The Red Cross told our crew at the scene that 3 families are displaced. The Red Cross is helping 2 of those families. A third was not home. It did leave some roads closed in that area for several hours last night. Several agencies responded. No one was injured, though, in that fire.
A fire forcing you out of your home is something most people hope never happens.
But if the unexpected does happen, our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, spoke with the Red Cross about what comes next after those flames are out. Michelle Renee?
Chris, Kyrian, good morning. When disaster strikes, the fire department responds, and sometimes they call for an assist to help people in need. That's people in need of necessities like food, shelter, and clothing. And that's when American Red Cross volunteers arrive on scene, providing immediate support. Now, families are assigned to Red Cross volunteer caseworkers. They're able to help tailor assistance for each family's needs. Red Cross helps provide essentials like a place to stay, clothing, even help replacing lost medical prescriptions. If needed, mental health counselors and pastoral care are available to support affected families as well. Food and shelter support often comes in the form of gift cards, giving families flexibility. And for larger disasters that displace multiple families, the Red Cross sets up shelters complete with cots and meals. Red Cross works with local schools, churches, restaurants, and other community partners for shelter and feeding operations.
Our goal is to get them back, on their feet right away. We're there, again, as I said, when people are in their darkest need, when they've lost everything. And we're there to kind of give them that, hand up to get them started on the road to recovery.
They even have cute little plushies for the kiddos. In the face of loss, the American Red Cross offers that hand up, guiding displaced families from crisis to recovery through a network of care and community collaboration. Now, American Red Cross is always looking for volunteers and blood donations. And you can get involved with this network of care by visiting redcross.org and finding our local Southwest chapter.
All right, Michelle Renee, thank you for letting us know about those resources in our area.
Absolutely.
Happening today, the suspect in the killing and attempted killing of 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses will appear in federal court. New details show that Vance Belter's wife told police she did not know her husband would be involved in a serious incident. But a search warrant revealed that on the morning of the shooting, Belter texted his wife warning her to take the kids and go to her parents' house, adding that there may be people with guns coming to the house. Investigators found nearly 50 guns at their home, plus 2 more guns, passports, and cash in her car. Investigators say the Belters were preppers who planned for catastrophic events.
Republicans are scrambling to pass President Trump's sweeping domestic policy legislation by his self-imposed deadline. It's after the Senate parliamentarian called for revisions. GOP leaders say that they hope that the Senate can still rework the bill and pass it this weekend. It would still have to go back to the House. The president wants it passed by the 4th of July. Republicans, though, are using a process called reconciliation for the bill. It allows Senate passage with a simple majority, but it's largely for budget legislation. The Senate parliamentarian says several of the bill's provisions don't qualify.
Today, the U.S. Supreme Court will release 6 final opinions on some of this year's most high-profile cases. The rulings include President Donald Trump's plan to end birthright citizenship, LGBTQ books in schools, and access to pornography sites. These decisions come on the final day of the Supreme Court's term.
Also, the U.S. Supreme Court blocking Planned Parenthood from suing South Carolina. It filed the lawsuit when the state pulled the organization's Medicaid funding because it provides abortions. The decision could prompt other red states now to also target the organization's funding.
Right now, a young couple's life is turned upside down after storms caused flooding in their apartment. But their renter's insurance won't cover the damage because the flooding resulted from improper repairs, not a natural disaster. Ellie Kerrigan says she and her fiance reported a leaking front door to Patriot Properties Maintenance in April. In May, maintenance arrived and sealed her front door with cement in the rain, making it impossible to open. News 3 Now confirmed with Patriot Properties founder that they were waiting for a contractor to re-cement the door. In the meantime, sandbags were placed, but that didn't prevent this week's flooding. The property owner said they offered the couple 2 other units, but the couple declined.
Upsetting because I know I'm not the only person. The fact that we had to lose our first home to something like this and not even be compensated, or not even compensated, just like reassured by the company. Like, why would we want to keep renting with them? Or why would we even want to rent anymore in general?
The couple's renter's insurance says Patriot Properties is responsible for the damages.
A 27-year-old Fitchburg man is dead after crashing into a traffic light pole and leaving the scene. Police say the crash happened around 8 o'clock Sunday night near Fish Hatchery Road and Greenway Cross. 30 minutes later, The man was discovered unresponsive in a nearby parking lot. First responders tried to save the man's life, but he died at the scene. Authorities say no other injuries were reported.
If you have questions about what you can and can't recycle, next week the city of Madison is teaching an online course. The class will be split up into two 90-minute sessions. The first is next Wednesday, with the second session 1 week after on July 9th. Those run in the evening, 6:30 to 8 p.m. The cost is $15. There's a fee waiver available if the cost is a burden. A link is on this story on our website, channel3000.com. And if you complete the course, you'll become a certified recycling steward.
There you go. All right, a former Badger star found his new home in the NBA draft. Utah Jazz selecting John Tonje, last year's Badgers leading scorer, 53rd overall pick, second round. Tonje averaged nearly 20 points per game in his only season in Madison. 6 picks earlier, the Milwaukee Bucks picked 19-year-old Serbian big man Bogoje Markovic at number 47. Did I nail it?
Bogoje
Markovic. Okay, got it.
That's what ESPN.
What did I say? Not that. That's not what I said.
No.
Okay.
Well, switching gears here, a proposed wind farm in Columbia County is raising concerns among local residents. The project, years in the making, would install about 40 wind turbines in the area. Longtime residents worry the turbines will disrupt their scenic views, impact their hearing, and interfere with agricultural work. They believe the benefits of the wind farm do not outweigh the cost.
People that are putting them up, they don't live by them. They're not in their backyard.
I don't feel that the energy that these turbines supply for the footprint that they leave on the environment is not sustainable.
Alliant Energy says the project could create 200 construction jobs and generate millions in revenue for the community. In a statement to News 3 Now, Alliant Energy says they are partnering with more than 300 voluntary landowners, saying, quote, these landowners appreciate the benefits of this project and realize that the positive impact will last for generations.
It is Friday, which means it is time to give out some tickets to see the Madison Mallards. All you have to do is tune in right now, which you're doing. Watch for the question of the day, which you're also doing. And so all I got to do is go to the website and put in your answer.
Yeah, so today's question of the day is burger or brat?
Good question.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We got our crew here at the desk. Josh, what are you going for? That burger or brat?
Definitely the burger.
Chris.
Brat, 100%. Come on. What are you guys doing?
I'm going with the burger.
I gotta go burger also.
I'm a burger gal.
I will say
more brats for the rest of us.
I will say a bad burger is worse than a bad brat, but I feel like a good burger is better than a good brat. That's just my opinion.
Than a good brat.
Hot takes.
Brat better than a brat. Got it.
How about
the tongue
both?
twister it is.
Can I put both on my plate?
I mean, a lot of people at a barbecue would.
Yes.
So I don't see why not.
Have one of each.
But no right or wrong answer if you are entering to do the giveaway.
So share your answer at channel3000.com/contest, and you'll be entered to win a 4-pack of tickets for next week's game. That'll feature some Proudworks, some fireworks, proudly sponsored. Proudworks, that should be a thing. I'm going to trademark that, and then
Proudworks.
anybody who sponsors fireworks can just call them Proudworks or something like that. Yeah, it's Thursday, July 3rd, where there will be fireworks, which is also sponsored by News 3 Now.
That make us proud.
That make us proud.
We got
You're
through
on a
it.
roll this
We got
morning.
through
Off the rails?
Is it a Friday or what?
You're still thinking of that meow garita, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. It's still on the mind.
I'm going to need one of those after this show.
Right.
Kibbles and bits on top. Oh my goodness.
All right, Jacob, save us.
Yeah, it's going to be comfortable today, but we are going to see those storms return Sunday. I'll have the forecast after the break.
Also ahead, we're working for the weekend in the 608 this morning. I'll have your 3 things to do as we proudly say Good Friday morning here on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a final look at the 3 things you need to know. Comfortable temperatures today, warmer over the weekend with storms Sunday, and then it will be dry again for Monday through Wednesday. So outside of Sunday, we're not going to see much rain over the next 6 days. Now, we are going to see the chance of some strong storms on Sunday, so that may make up for the lack of rain we're going to see before and after Sunday. But the best chance of severe weather will be further northwest, marginal risk for Madison and surrounding areas. So looking at Sunday's forecast, we're going to start out dry, sunny skies in the morning, but then we'll see those showers and thunderstorms develop in the afternoon, and they're likely going to continue into the evening. The good news is that at least right now it looks like we're just going to see that one round of possible severe weather, which will ultimately lead to rain totals not being too high, which we don't necessarily need more rain after the amount of rainfall we've seen. And looking at the amount of rain that's in the forecast, Madison surrounding area is not going to see too much, maybe a little bit more further northwest towards La Crosse, but we're not expecting to see, a huge amount of rainfall on Sunday, which is good news considering how much rain we have seen. And we also are going to be dry after Sunday. Looking at the precipitation chances, Monday through Wednesday does look to be fairly dry before the precipitation chances do increase by the time we get to the end of next week. Now, as far as temperatures, again, today is going to be very comfortable. It also will be the coolest day going forward. In fact, it's also the coolest day when compared to the previous 10 days as well. Tomorrow, though, will be warmer, middle 80s, then even warmer for Sunday. Then after Sunday, temperatures will be pretty steady. Highs will be in the middle to lower 80s for much of next week, which is very close to normal for this time of the year. The normal high is 81. By next week, it'll rise to around 82 to 83. And then by the end of the 10-day forecast, it'll be close to 84. Now, looking at the rainfall forecast over the next 10 days. Like I mentioned, dry Monday through Wednesday, but for 4th of July and the weekend after, it does look like we are going to see a better chance of rain, especially on Friday and Saturday. Now, a lot can change between now and then, but the 4th of July forecast is not looking great in terms of dryness, but we are going to see comfortable temperatures, and at this point in time, it's hard to say the details in terms of how long it's going to rain during the day. So we'll continue updating that forecast for anyone that has plans. I'm sure a lot of people do, but for now, it's not looking like it's going to be a great forecast.
Well, okay.
I don't think there's anything that we can't handle at this point, right? All right. Jacob, thank you.
Well, everybody's working for the weekend in the 608 today.
All right, Josh Ryder is here now with his 3 things to do this weekend. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is the last weekend of June, and our summer lineup of fun events for the whole family continues in the 608. First off, it's time to celebrate the summer season at Woolersheim Winery. The Summer Serenade Series officially underway, and tonight's your next opportunity to enjoy the beauty of summer while sipping on a nice beverage, of course, outside, taking in the beautiful views there. They have extended hours planned from noon to 8 on these summer Fridays, where you can enjoy wine, cocktails, food, and live music with no reservation needed. The next Summer Serenades is planned for Friday, July 25th. Happening Saturday from 11 to 2, there's a Farm Fresh celebration at Sassy Cow Creamery in Columbus. They're serving up scoops, smiles, and some serious summer fun with a hands-on petting zoo, a variety of delicious eats, freshly made ice cream, games, activities, and fun for the whole family. And hey, it's all for a good cause. This event supports Second Harvest Food Bank's Adopt a Dairy Cow program. And finally, it's going to be a big weekend for Camp Randall as Morgan Wallen comes to Wisconsin on his tour. This is happening both Saturday and Sunday nights. Lots of businesses are hosting specials in downtown Madison, especially in the Regent Street area. So here's your chance to support local during this time. Even if you don't have tickets to get inside, you can still be part of the fun. You can find more happenings this weekend in the 608 on channel3000.com. We made it to Friday, guys.
Did you hear what I said those Morgan Wallen tickets were going
It's
for
ridiculous,
this morning?
Yeah. And I know a lot of people that have paid that money, and I'm like, why? I don't understand.
There are some nosebleed seats that are still available. They're going for like $200 a pop, though.
For the nosebleed?
For the nosebleed.
That's like, Morgan's a big deal.
Sunday's show, those tickets are looking a lot cheaper.
Yes. For some reason, I don't know if because Saturday sold out so fast, maybe Sunday was a little bit different, but it's just going to be so hot, too. Like, it's uncomfy.
Yeah, know, plenty of Morgan on Apple Music and all the above.
Or, you probably will be able to hear him from outside of the stadium, too. So maybe
the
just post
Jumbotron's
up,
available.
Yeah, I bet you there's going to be tailgating. I think of like a Camp Randall Saturday, like a Badger Saturday. It's going to be very much like that, I think.
Yeah, we'll see if we got those game day vibes. All right, cool. Lots of stuff going on this weekend, even if you're not going to the concert.
Happy weekend, guys.
You too, buddy.
Happy weekend. Well, coming up in the morning sprint, what new data shows about the state of the U.S. economy?
If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll share it on TV. We're back with the sprint next. Time for the morning sprint.
Following breaking news overnight in Milwaukee, a gunman who shot 2 police officers is currently on the run. TMJ4 reports that the officers were ambushed while responding to a call. One officer is in critical condition while the other has non-life-threatening injuries. The Milwaukee Police Department says the 911 call came in just after 9 p.m. Both officers are receiving treatment at Frederick Hospital. Police say they know the suspect but have not released a description. The department's homicide division is leading the investigation.
Kenneth Chesbrough, a key lawyer in President Trump's plot to override the 2020 election here in Wisconsin, has been disbarred in New York. A panel of judges focused on his efforts to convene electors who would vote for Trump in Wisconsin after Biden won the election. Former President Biden won the election. He's also suspended from practicing in 5 other states.
A Rock County woman has identified herself as one of the victims in a poisoning plot in Madison. Amanda Bade shared a statement with News 3 Now saying she spent 38 days in the hospital. A criminal complaint alleges Paul Van Doon and Andrea Whitaker stalked her and made 3 attempts on her life. Bade has set up a GoFundMe. More details can be found on our website, channel3000.com.
The U.S. economy shrank more than expected in the first quarter of the year. New data from the Commerce Department shows the country's gross domestic product fell at an annual rate of 0.5%, revised up from 0.2%. The slowdown was driven in part by a surge in imports as many rushed to stock up on goods before new tariffs took effect. At the same time, the data shows consumers pulled back on spending overall.
And here's a final look at your 10-day forecast. For today, very comfortable, especially by the afternoon. We'll see partly sunny skies, highs in the middle to upper 70s. For tomorrow, we'll be a bit warmer, highs in the middle 80s, then near 90 on Sunday, where we do have a chance of storms. Some of those storms could be strong to severe. Monday through Wednesday, though, does look to be dry, and unfortunately, we are expecting some rain for 4th of July.
All right, Jacob, thank you.
Our next newscast is at noon. CBS Mornings coming up next.